KOF 15 is actually close to being released. I mean, by this time I mean, we're filming this on a Friday, so I think next Thursday the game is actually being released. So everybody's pretty excited. I mean, we're ready for some new KOF. It looks a lot more polished. Rollback netcode. I mean, they've released 5011 trailers, so everybody's happy happy with a lot of the characters and stuff that they're seeing. We actually got to see some like actually pro KOF players like actually play the game. We're now seeing people actually streaming or uploading, not stream, but uploading content and stuff like that for KOF 15. So we're getting really teased with this game and stuff like that. But Mr. Gamer left actually, because I don't really have a lot of the details of this, but they released some DLC information and stuff like that of what's to come. And you're already seeing people are basically saying like, look, you know what time it is, game being released, day zero tournament, come and see who's the best or something you ain't never played before. So, you know. But yeah, I handed over to Mr. Gamerlift to actually trying to shed more light on that DLC information and also give his thoughts on KOF 15 as we approach the date that it will drop. On you, Mr. Gamerlift.
Man, I must admit, like KOF 15, I've turned a new leaf over because when this game was first showed off, I wasn't really impressed with it. I just wasn't, the trailers, and I'm
You
just
was
like,
more
man,
song team shatter the game disc.
yeah. I was like, but now I must say, man, they've made a total like 180. Like the game, like first of all, I think the game looks beautiful. Like the visuals. I know Mr. Rex on Max don't like the way the fire effects look, but
So like hot Kool-Aid.
they do look interesting. I guess they're just going for like a more stylized look. But the game looks awesome. I must admit, I played it very, very minutely when the last beta came out, just to you can get the feel for the game. It actually feels pretty good. Like the game controls well. So that's good to know. Like you don't control like a hot potato in the back of a SUV. So that's good. Um, but yeah, so the game controls well. It looks great. Like I mean, it's like a 30 million characters in it, and as they keep adding characters, man, like you think, oh, they're done. They just really showed me like I think what was it last week or week before last, whenever it was. But I was on YouTube and I'm like, wait, they got a new character coming? I thought they was already done, and they showing DLC now. So you got Rock, I think it's Team Garo. So Rock Howard. So we know Maximilian. I was waiting for that video because every trailer he's been like, so yeah, this character he's drawing like the silhouette. Like yeah, this is Rock Howard's coat. This is his hair. He's finally in the game. So you got Rock Howard Gato, I think that's his name, and I forgot the chick Bessamy. I forgot her name, but that's the Team Garo, and you got Team Southside or Southtown or whatever, and that's you got Big Geese, Billy Kane, and Yamazaki, and that team looks fire because he all got like this, like Geese got the business attire suit on, Billy got the suit on with the cane. I'm like, this look kind of fire. Yamazaki come in with this fresh coat. I'm like, yo, that team look dope. And they also got two extra teams which they didn't show yet. So I'm thinking one of them is gonna be like a DLC team. I mean, a guest character team. But we won't know yet. But yeah, the game is looking fire. I must say, seeing gameplay of it looks interesting, looks fun. I will say one thing about the combos though. It doesn't seem like it has some actually crazy combos. Like before we saw like gameplay footage, like people had took the game and kind of broke it down. There were some pretty intricate combos. Like you got some long combos for certain characters, but there are some characters which is like 5 hits into super into Neo Max or whatever. A lot of that going on, but I mean that's KOF. That's to be expected. I personally prefer the KOF 13 combo with the HD stuff, but hey, But the game still looks good. I must admit. I gotta fess up, man. The game looks fire. At first, I wasn't rocking with it, man, but Mr. Gamer have got to change his mind because the game looks dope. I will say that out of the fighting games that's coming up, DNF Duel is my favorite. Like that beta was fire. That's the game I'm actually anticipating the most. But KOF 15 does look fire as well. So hopefully the game comes out and does well. But it's looking pretty good, I must say.
What was the DLC? Did you explain the DLC information?
Yeah, it's just like for now, it's just like they showing teams. This is like 4 DLC teams.
Oh,
You
okay.
got Team Garo, Team South, South Side, I think, of Southtown, and then two undisclosed teams that we don't know yet. So
Oh, okay. Well, for me personally, as y'all know, I'm also stay on the content creation side, the media side, the production side. But just for this game coming out, I'm really really excited for it, man. Because one, I think the FGC needs it right now. I mean, Guilty Gear Strive that came out and that's doing pretty good right now. But I mean, it'd be great to have more than one thing. I don't know. Are people still really like heavy on multi blood type Lumina? That's one thing I hadn't seen since coming back that people have actually been talking about a lot.
I mean, you still see it at events. I think it was at Frosty Faustings, you know, on stage. Surprisingly, you know, let me stop, man.
You sure?
Um, but yeah, it was at Frosty. I think people are still actually playing it. You know, I don't think it's super like big. You know,
Mm-hmm.
again, because it's multi blood, so those types of games they kind of take a back burner. But from what I've seen, I do think there's still a pretty solid player base playing. I mean, again, it was at Frosty Faustings on stream, so you know, on the big stage, so you know, still got
Yeah.
to have a player base.
But yeah, the more the merrier, really, with the content that we have coming out now. The more stuff that we can get out with, the more stuff that we can get out with actually decent net code, decent rollback net code. Like, what was that game called? Fantasy, that Amina game. What was it called? Um, the game that was supposed to come out, and everybody was kind of looking at it like, oh, okay, but do we have rollback? And it was like, you got something, Fantasy Star Amina, something like that. But it was a game that was coming out, and it didn't have rollback netcode. Somebody probably say what I was meaning, but yeah, it didn't actually have netcode. So it's great to have another option of a game with a different play style that's actually coming out that will have rollback netcode with it. So I think it'll be good for the FGC. It'll give us more content and all that other stuff, and I'm real excited for it. Down here in the Texas area, we already have plenty of people that saying we finna have tournaments for it, and that's one thing great about the FGC. When a game comes out, people really do their best to like hold as many tournaments and stuff for it, and really give it a running start, so people can actually be like, whether they decide like, okay, I'm really feeling this game, I'm not feeling this game. But then at the end of the day, it's up to people. Are you gonna take it home and be consistent with it? To find out if you really truly like it. So I'm excited for it. I wasn't really like the biggest KOF player. I mean, I really didn't start messing with KOF characters until I started playing Capcom versus SNK, and then that's when I started really learning more about like the KOF side. So I can't really say I'm a person who knows the lore. I know the backstories and all that other stuff. I'll be honest, I was one of them people like, why would I play KOF when I could play Street Fighter? So hopefully don't nobody blow me up in my DMs and say how ignorant I am. But I mean that's just what it was. So,
I was
I'm
the same way. I was the same way.
yeah, so I'm really really happy to give it like a fair shake, and just with this new game coming out. And we'll see a lot of people hopping on. I already know people down here right now who's saying, look, I'm ready for KOF. I'm done with Street Fighter 5. I feel like that game's too far gone for me. Everybody's as elite as they're gonna be right now, and I'm kind of waiting for KOF 15. So we got some hype and stuff going for us. So I'm excited for it. Like like there was people in the beginning when we was getting those trailers that was literally like low kick, high kick, medium punch, super,
Man,
cut it off. Like they came a long way to persuading people. So I'm excited for it. So anything else you want to add, Mr. Gamer?